Welcome to the show. It's Danu on Fire, and today we're checking out Tito's. Now, this is located as you enter Courtyard by Marriott in Colombo. As you walk in, you see this. It's a beautiful little coffee shop for you to enjoy some good food, wholesome food, and also good coffee and company. All right, now I'm speaking to somebody who has been on the show every time she has done something. It's just like, now enough. But then every time she decides, when I say enough, now enough, there's something new. Now she went to London, she got married, and she was supposed to be a good girl, just looking after her husband, and there you go. She just ended up on the London Fashion Week runway. These things are not like things that happen in normal people's life, but when you're beautiful like her, inside and out, it happens. Hi, Ornella.
Hi, Danu.
How are you?
I'm very touched by what a beautiful introduction you gave.
What to do? Now here we have so many people who are top models. We also have supermodels. And where do you position yourself?
I would classify myself as a model only because my perception is slightly different. I think the supermodel phrase belongs to the 90s models. It was a completely different era. I think things have changed in terms of the dynamics of being a model with
Correct.
the introduction of social media. You have, Instagram models, different types of
You have hand models.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I would classify I'm a model.
Amazing. There you go. Only our country, you don't know how many supermodels we have in this country. Okay, now let's start off with your time in London. So you got married, la 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 la. Did you get married here? No, you got married in London.
No, I got married in Sri Lanka, actually in my own backyard, in my garden. Yep. Very small, intimate little thing.
And then what happened?
So my husband, well, at the time he was my fiance, he came, it was during COVID. He lived with my family and I for about 6 months. We were waiting on my visa to come. And in 2 days, because of all the COVID, the UK was literally closing doors, the red, when it was categorized by color. My visa came, 2 days later it was closing. I packed everything and then, oh my gosh, yeah.
Packed up and left.
It was, my family didn't even have time to properly digest it and I was already on the plane.
Yeah. But how was it though, settling in London? They call it this grey city. It never wakes up, like it's just so misty. Was it like that from a sunny island to go there?
I'll be honest, I don't know if it's climate change that's pushed things a little bit, shaken up the climate there as well.
It's sunny now.
There were quite a few sunny days, I'll be honest.
Right.
But it does rain, but when I got in, like the first year, even winter wasn't as harsh, though this time it was. I wouldn't say that the gloomy fits because people in London, they've got really nice personalities, they're very friendly, and I'm not
very
just
Sri Lankan
saying
in their
They're
ways.
very nice,
Yeah.
they're actually very nice, yeah.
And okay, so that's how is life to be married because you have always kept your life very private in terms of, and we didn't even know you had someone. We just thought you are going to eventually marry a chair or something, and now you married a man. So tell me, how was it? Like, how is life there apart from hard?
I would say it's very expensive. I mean, people have this perception just because
That's
you
because
live.
you're converting still. You have to stop doing that.
No, but in general, the high cost of living, there's taxes on just so many little things that, and also I think it's part of being an adult because while I was here, I was under my parents' roof. So they kind of took care of everything. But once I ventured out, new man, new house, everything. So it's like.
Man.
Sorry?
Same
man, new what?
New title.
Thank you.
Yes.
New title, but it was different because even though we had 10 years of long distance, it was still someone I hadn't lived in with. So for me, that was a bit daunting to leave my family, who I'm very close to, my dogs, and everything, and then go and start this life in such a fast-tempoed country and city like London.
Yeah. And your first 6 months were tough?
I have to say it was. I mean, settling in with somebody that you haven't lived with. Anyway, personalities take time to settle in, but then after a while, I got my job, settled in, and things are good.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
Because you can be in love for even 100 years, but the minute you get into the same house and then you to share the same toilet, it can lead to divorce.
True. Yeah.
Toilet is a very sensitive subject. We're going to be speaking more to this girl, especially about her time walking London Fashion Week. It's a great thing to know a Sri Lankan is there. Did they even think that you were Sri Lankan when they saw you? No, right?
I'll be honest, no, and it's sad because even here people don't think or believe that I'm
Yeah.
Sri Lankan. I'm like, I'm Gunesekere, I was
Yeah.
born here.
Yeah.
So
You speak in Sinhalese there.
Mat pulwan
Yeah.
ඉතින්.
Let's get into a break. We'll come back with more on the other side. Welcome back, it's Danu on Fire. We are talking to Ornella. Now, I was going to ask you about London Fashion Week. How did it happen?
Oh, let me see. That show I actually booked. I think I found there was an open casting for one of the shows, and that led me to the schedule. I think that one I directly wrote and asked because usually you definitely need an agent to get in.
Right.
But I found self-representation has opened a lot more doors for me. I still can't believe it happened, and I didn't even know it was an official show that was part of the British Fashion Council until I went to the website and I was like, oh, that happened.
So because London Fashion Week has multiple shows happening.
Exactly.
There's the main runway and they have a lot of co-runways happening at the same time.
Correct.
So how was it to work? Were you working with all or?
No, so unlike it's like the way it's structured, what we're used to in Colombo Fashion Week, it's like a lot
One
of
show.
designers, yes, one show. The Paris Fashion Week show, New York, London, it's that week, but shows happen everywhere, all over the city. Like people are running, that's why they say like sometimes models are running late because they're gunning from one show to the next show to the next show. So it was one of those and it was in a beautiful like Gothic church. It was actually a production done by a New York-based company.
Right. And how was it? What did they say? Like, did you tell them that you learned your basics in modeling in Sri Lanka?
Of course, I always remember where I started.
And how was it for them? Like, did they say, wow, it's nice to see you? Like,
a lot of them were surprised.
to start with, that you're Sri Lankan.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, you're Sri Lankan, and then your English is so good. and
you all have food.
But yeah, and then I explained that, I'm like a Charu, little bit mixed, but I was born and raised and then I moved here. But no, it was a very lovely experience and I still can't believe it happened.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, you have not only you're also working full time.
Yes.
And because I don't think you can live otherwise in London.
Not at all. No. Not in the place that I even like, which is literally central London.
Yeah.
Outside, it's a little bit more affordable.
But not where you are.
I don't know. I love the hustle and bustle. It's so nice. So it's costly.
It's a costly life. Tell me, so your job is what?
I work as a receptionist at a French boutique hotel, literally 10 minutes walking distance from Buckingham Palace. So.
Oh, wow. Have you said hi to Charles?
I gave him a little wave.
Oh, there you go. It's nice. Were you a part of, how was it when the Queen passed?
Oh, you could feel it, definitely. A lot of people definitely loved and respected Queen Elizabeth. And yeah, you could even like Fortnum and Mason, which is where the Queen shops. All the windows were blacked out. You could definitely feel people mourning.
Do you love Meghan and Harry?
I find them interesting.
Are they loved in UK?
It's pretty divided, I would say.
How divided? Like major divided?
It's interesting because I think the American perception is very contrasted to the way the British public have received them, which I would say is not in a great way, whereas the US have embraced them.
Not so much, no? Now they are coming to know their
It's interesting.
BS.
This is the thing. It's interesting.
Sorry.
So I know, yeah.
My opinion, as if I was living with the Queen and dancing around with her in the house. But anyway, just wanted to know that. So you're also doing some acting on the side? The next Bond girl might be seated right next to me. Tell me, so it's all, you have been doing this all by yourself. You have not signed up with an agent, nothing.
For the modeling, it's been mostly self-represented. I started acting also with self-representation, did some classes, tried to understand how the dynamics of the acting world works.
Because consider the fact that you are the type who used to go to anxiety to answer the phone.
Yes, yes.
Are you still there, or have you come out
I'm
of it?
better, thank you, Danu.
Okay.
I actually am better. And I think partly you helped me with that because
Yeah.
it brought
I was
into
like,
my
"Pick up
awareness.
the phone."
Literally.
Yeah.
And the acting, I do have an agent that I'm signed up with.
Okay.
But it's more SA, which is supporting artist or
Right.
actress. So it's like the background, you know, the people you see in the back.
Yeah. I was watching You recently, the new season. They shot it in London this time.
Yes,
and
you're right.
In a beautiful university.
You're right.
But I found fault with it in the first 3 episodes.
I know what you're talking about.
What are you talking about?
They use their extra twice or the same?
4 times.
Okay,
they went together, they came back alone, then they're walking alone.
Good observation.
I
Good
have that
observation.
problem. I always look out for continuation, and I always look out for what's behind.
Okay.
Yeah. So I might spot
Well
you.
done. I mean, okay.
Yeah. Never know. But don't be the one who gets casted just to be killed in the first season.
I don't know. It's all up to, because sometimes, I mean, you get paid for the work you do, but
Yeah.
the director's cut, you get in or you get out. Either way, I mean, it's an experience, right? You got to be on set. You got to have that experience.
Here
of
they
being-
don't. Here the director's cut is even when you have not paid for the person who is walking on the side. They're like, "Have done, have done." Yeah.
Just to put it,
Yeah, just
yeah.
put everyone in.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So all of this is happening in London. Apart from that, how is, because you're too kind to be at the reception, and conflict of interest. So your upselling has been pointed out. Do you tell them, take the room free? I'll pay for it out of my own salary.
Or if I had, I would definitely, if I were
That
that,
is the
wealthy.
problem.
Yes,
Yeah.
I would definitely be that person that shares. Yeah.
So how have you tried to upsell?
I'm trying harder. Even when I was in Sri Lanka, I worked at a hotel for a few months as a salesperson.
It worked.
It didn't work out. I'm not a very good salesperson. No.
How is it in this little boutique hotel?
The thing is, I love like welcoming and making somebody like your home, like welcome, and especially when they come with their families and the kids are like, my first time in London, and they're excited. So that entire thing fits with my personality.
Yeah, that you have got 100. After that,
When it comes to making business and making more money, I struggle with that a lot. Even in life, like if
I know.
people want to pay me for work, I'm like, that's okay. You work really hard. I'm happy to do it for free. And then, like all the bills and taxes are in my head. Like, you need money to live, girl.
like today, I said yes to something day after.
Okay.
And I just thought to myself, oh, I don't have much to do, so give me this amount. And I was like, but I'm still giving 4 hours of my time.
Wow.
But I'm too late now.
Oh.
It's a problem. I can never ask for a price. We need to
Good
have
heart.
some managers.
Okay.
That's what we need. We're getting into a break. We'll see you on the other side. Do stick around. Back to the show. Our final segment. We're checking out this amazing place called Tito's. It's brand new and they have good things here.
Yeah,
So dessert, we got a lot of options to choose from because we didn't know what to choose, so we just took all.
Yes,
It's an easier.
It's the best way.
Yeah,
it's the best way.
Talking about dessert and food,
Yes.
may I please know how was it to meet Gordon Ramsay?
Oh my God. So, I'll be honest, my husband and I, we actually love enjoying good
Food.
meals and good food. If we want
Do you
to...
even eat?
Danu, yes I do. If we spend money, it would be for a nice meal. Because those are one of the finer experiences, I would say, of life, food. We actually were at one of his restaurants. We've been to, I think, 5 different restaurants in different parts of the world. This one was one that he opened recently. So I think he was there to kind of see how everything is running.
Right.
But I hadn't noticed because I was so engulfed in what
In
I
the
was
food,
eating.
yeah.
Exactly. But everyone else has suddenly looked up and seen him. And then my husband goes, "You're not going to believe who's here." And I'm like, I literally started like hyperventilating. But then I noticed him going and asking all the children their opinions. How do you like your meal? Is everything okay? And then no one had yet gone up to him. And he probably hates me now because I was that donkey who went up to him and in the middle of, the service. And I was like, "Please, can I have a picture with you?" And he was so nice. He didn't tell me to F off. He was like, "Would you mind sitting down?" And then he did like this. And I was like, pass an opportunity to sit with you? Hell no. So I sat down. My husband took the picture, and then it was really cool.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So he's not rude.
He wasn't rude. I mean, TV, maybe that's
Yeah,
what
of
he
course,
does,
it's exaggerated,
but
yeah.
he was interacting with the children, like that showed me like he values how they
Yeah.
feel more. And then he didn't tell me to go away, idiot
bugger off.
sandwich. So.
Yeah, true. So that's one. Naomi Campbell is another person who you met. Did she tell her about her time of drinking Samahan?
Yeah, I love that.
You should have told her, here, take one.
At the time, I
You
didn't
didn't
know.
have one.
Otherwise, yeah. It's the thing.
Yeah.
I came to restock my Samahan stock now.
So how was it? How was it meeting her?
I mean, what a fabulous I can't explain
Does
how
she have
gorgeous.
an aura about her?
She does. She's one of those people she walks into a room and everyone's turned.
Right.
Yeah. Stunning, her hair, the way she carries herself. She's also very funny, and the way I don't know, it was just like meeting a goddess, a real life goddess.
And you took a picture with her as well?
I was really lucky. Again, I was like, I'm from Sri Lanka, I work as a model, but please can I have a picture? And then she's like, go on then.
Yeah. Go on, man.
Yeah, go on then.
Did you have not met the future king or the king?
Not yet. His coronation will actually be on the 6th of May.
You should go for that too.
I am definitely going for that, yes.
Yeah. Just wiggle your way in somehow. You should say hello.
Yeah, do you like
they
her?
gave up on
Yeah.
Sri Lanka when you were born. Yeah. It was somewhere during that timeline, I think. Yeah. Anyway, what do you think 1 year or 2 years have passed since you sort of moved out? Do you see Sri Lanka went through a lot?
Yes, I know.
And how was it received there?
There was, organized protests there as well.
But what were the British people saying about Sri Lanka at that time?
I think a lot of them weren't too sure what was happening because certain media outlets portrayed very different and contrasting sometimes views. A lot of people, I think there was confusion, but then when you start talking and explaining, then they're like, oh yeah, politicians. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't want to comment too much on politics, but they definitely sympathize and empathize with Sri Lankan people. There were stalls where our Sri Lankans were educating on the history and what happened, which was nice to see. Because they're trying to educate and inform
people
about
it.
Exactly.
Yeah. And also, so now that you're a Mrs., does that mean that we are going to have a junior?
I actually wanted to have one this year, but
there's a simple thing. I'm sure you have done science. You can't just be wanting it. You will have to work on it.
Oh, you have to do it.
Yeah, you have to do it.
This crane
No, it doesn't. None of those. What do you call? What's that? It's a pigeon that drops off the baby.
The crane, I think.
No.
The crane.
What's that bird called?
The crane. The white.
Crane.
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought it's a pigeon.
No, it's fine.
Pigeon is small, right?
Small fellow. Yeah.
No, that can't carry a baby. No, sorry. The crane, yeah.
But last year we babysat my nieces, so my husband's sister's kids, and then my husband and I looked at each other and we're like, next year.
Yeah, it was too much, yeah.
But they say have, and then the energy will come. So I'm looking at next year to have my baby,
Amazing, that's wonderful. Yeah, and she was asking me, whether I can name the child after you, and I was like, yeah, of course.
I want to, it will be an honor, definitely.
See, these are things that happen, that impact that I can leave on
Danu
people.
Gunesekere.
On that note, we need to wrap things up. But Ornella, I'm so proud of you for all what you have done and how much you have never forgotten where it all starts and where it all started from. And I'm so proud of you. Next year when you come, I don't know, you might be a big movie star or the next Bond girl, you never know. We are looking out for good things to happen. So thank you for being here.
Thank you, Danu.
Now dig in.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll see you soon. Till then, you keep smiling. It's a wrap on the show.